What's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with Murder City Lions Talk. We back with, let's call it Water Cooler Talk Monday. We know Lions had a horrible game, 3 quarters and a half yesterday, and it's expected. I run a boxing channel as well. If you're interested, it's called the Boxing Clinic and More on YouTube. It got the N at the end. It's the N signal, not A and D. Like I tell people on that channel, you can't be 100% every night, and that goes the same way as football. Bob Cooter gonna have bad games and Stafford, but it seems like the Lions have been going through bad coordinators for years. People was mad at Scott Linehan, Mike Martz, Marty Mornhinweg when he was calling the plays here as a head coach, I believe. People were mad at Joe Lombardi, especially when he said Stafford couldn't digest the playbook. He was basically dumb, and now people mad at Bob Cooter. And one in his head. After he had some success with Stafford. And for years, the Lions have been a team that can, when Mike Martz can march up and down the field, we just never was able to consistently put up points. When the Stafford had the 45 touchdowns, it still didn't seem like the offense was clicking. And I'm starting to think we need to get a proven offensive coordinator. And we do have a proven offensive coordinator on the team, which is Jim Caldwell. He called, the Super Bowl run for the Joe Flacco. He took over for Cam Cameron, who went down, who got the boot, went down to LSU, got the boot again. Because I look at it like, you look at Stafford. He has a lot of talent. But then again, Bob Cooter maybe doesn't have the personnel that he wants to run. So he got, a tight end that you can't trust going across the middle. Can't trust him, period. Out routes, anything, you can't trust him. You got a too small receiver in Golden Tate who flashes and plays on the outside, but who's really a slot receiver who's going to want a lot of money come next offseason. Had an argument about bringing him back. I doubt it. We talked about it. We said, maybe if the Lions bring in a true number one, then we can keep Marvin Jones and Golden Tate. And I understand that. They are good 2 and 3. And, Golden Tate can play between the third and the 2. We just don't have a number one. Let me put it to you that way. And that would have been fine getting rid of Calvin and not having a number one if Ebron was able to step up and make plays. Then it takes a lot of pressure off of Marvin Jones and Golden Tate, and they can do what they want to do. And Kenny Galladay once he get back healthy. But I think it's more the personnel for Bob Cooter. Of course, Greg Robinson is throwing our offensive line off, and I think Glasgow could be better as a center and not a left guard. So it's really hard to tell because he really doesn't have what he needs. When Taylor Decker gets back, maybe we can see. But he doesn't have the running back he needs to have. He doesn't have the tight end he needs to have. He doesn't have the number one receiver he needs to have. So the Lions have some soul searching to do on the offense. And I know people say, well, everything can't be perfect. Nothing's perfect for Aaron Rodgers. Stafford needs everything to be perfect. Truly not. Maybe we need another offensive coordinator that can build in the system, but you're going to need other players as well. Your players are your number one issues that's fitting in this scheme. You don't have your left tackle. You don't have a true number one running back. So you don't have play action. So that takes some plays out the book. Nobody believes you're going to run it. Believes you're going to run it if you can't run the ball. Play action won't work. You don't have a tight end that you have to game plan for. Or we could put somebody on him. He's going to drop it regardless. Or we put a body by him. He's not going to catch it. He's going to get scared and turn his head too early and try to run. So realistically, Stafford is playing with 1 or 2 or 3 good targets. He's playing with Golden Tate, which people are starting to take away now because they know Marvin Jones is not going to do anything. And he's playing with Theo Riddick or Abdullah coming out the backfield. He can't run. They can't run the ball. They can't run the ball. The system they got for running the ball is trash. You don't see no power plays, nobody pulling, and people want to blame the offensive line. So, yes, you can blame the offensive line, but they're not healthy. You got Greg Robinson, who's a bust playing left tackle. Most important offensive lineman. Oh, why you don't put Rick Wagner on the left? Because Rick Wagner is not a left tackle. You got to have a certain athletic ability to be a left tackle, if that's what you ask him. So he doesn't have the personnel right now. So when Taylor Decker gets back and they can find him a running back and a tight end, it's a lot of things the Lions offense is missing. You don't have to go out there and have the highest paid tight end. You have to have a serviceable tight end in Darren Fields, which they do have. Which leads me to say why they don't start Darren Fields, I don't know. Might as well start like Mike Roberts get some touches as well too. For some reason they won't want to part ways with Ebron, and probably because they feel Ebron will go somewhere else and tear it up. And if he does, let it be. He ain't the first or the last Lion to go do that. Go somewhere else and show out. You draft him number 10. You don't want to showcase him in the offense because you don't trust him, We can't learn the roster, whatever it is. You draft him number 10 over Odell Beckham, Aaron Donald, and you draft him over High Clinton Dix, amongst just to name a few. You know, and you're not making him a vocal point of the offense, you know. And the Lions need to overhaul their offense again. I will not bring back Golden Tate unless I'm bringing in a number one receiver. If I'm going to get the best receiver out there, but you got a lot of money invested in Marvin Jones, and you're going to invest in more money in Golden Tate, he's too small on the outside. He's not the fastest. He's not the quickest, so he's not going to be your Steve Smith. He's more of a slot receiver. And T.J. Jones can handle the slot receiver load, in my opinion, for now. And you got Kenny Galladay that can, you know, you can probably teach him to run the slot a little bit. But the Lions need to bring in a number one receiver and another serviceable tight end. You don't have to have the best tight end. And I think Darren Fields is the serviceable tight end they need, and until Mike Roberts can grow into that. You got to get you a running back, and they got to get them a number one wide receiver. And, you know, you can get you a number one wide receiver, but it's going to take, I mean, you're either going to trade for him, you're going to draft for him, which is going to take some time. You got to trust Kenny Galladay. Maybe he can grow into that, or maybe the guy you bring in can grow into that. But for one thing, Ebron shouldn't be on this team. Well, his workload should be reduced into situational downs. But the Lions need a number one receiver. I would not bring Golden Tate back. I might be in a minority, but they need a number one receiver. And I think Marvin Jones would flourish off of that, and Kenny Galladay would flourish for having a number one receiver. Where would you find that receiver at? That's tough to say. I don't know what next year's draft's looking like. Maybe they can trade for a guy. You know, I don't know who. But they have to find somebody, you know, because, you know, Golden Tate being your number one and Marvin Jones being number one, it's not working because of Ebron. But you don't want to spend a lot of money on the tight end, and it don't work out. You know, so it's Jim Bob Cooter don't have the personnel that he needs. And I'm just keeping it real. He walked into a situation, Bob Quinn walked into a situation where players are already in place. They see what they got. They see what they need. I'm pretty sure they're seconding what I'm saying. But hopefully he can get it right for the rest of the season. We gone.